Hi, this is Matt with the Fortress Law Group, where we defend good people accused of bad things. In this video, we're going to talk about offenses that are considered some of the most serious things a person can be accused of: sex crimes. We're going to look at the different types of sex offenses, their penalties, and possible defense strategies. Our team at the Fortress Law Group have been trusted allies in the criminal defense business for 14 years. We have handled hundreds of sex crime cases and helped clear the names of many falsely accused. Sex crimes carry some of the most severe consequences. Your freedom, your reputation, your family life, and your career are on the line. An accusation of this weight can turn your whole world upside down, which is why it's extremely important to consult with an attorney immediately after you discover you've been charged. Act fast in seeking representation. The last thing you want to do is hand over information to the police. Exercise your right to remain silent. Let's dive into the various charges categorized as sex offenses in Ohio. Sex crimes can range from misdemeanors to felonies. Misdemeanor charges include public indecency and, in some cases, prostitution. Some of the most commonly charged felonies include rape, sexual battery, gross sexual imposition, and child pornography. Rape is a first-degree felony defined as unwanted sexual conduct, including but not always sexual intercourse, when the alleged offender impairs, forces, or deceives the person into sex. Sexual battery is typically charged as a third-degree felony. It involves coercing someone into unwanted sexual conduct, such as touching or sexual intercourse. Gross sexual imposition describes sexual contact against a person's will, or when they are under the influence of drugs or alcohol or otherwise unable to consent. Gross sexual imposition is often a third-degree felony in Ohio. If the crime involves a minor, the charge will be much more severe. It is a crime to create, reproduce, sell, deliver, exhibit, possess, buy, control, or publish obscene matter depicting a child engaged in sexual activity, or displaying a minor in the nude. Child pornography charges can range from second to fifth-degree felonies. The penalties for sex crimes include years behind bars, hefty fines, and ending up on the sex offender registry. But the penalties will vary depending on the age of the victim, prior offenses, the number of counts, and a number of other factors. Aside from judicial consequences, a sex offense conviction will likely change how others view and interact with you in society. There are 3 tiers of sex offender registration in Ohio. Tier 1 is the lowest level of registration. Tier 1 offenders are required to register once per year for 15 years. Tier 2 sex offender registrants are required to register every 180 days for 25 years. Tier 3 is the most serious level of registration. Tier 3 offenders are required to register every 90 days for the rest of their lives. The specifics of each case will determine which defense strategy is most appropriate, but here are some of the most common defense strategies. And remember, everyone at trial is presumed innocent until proven guilty. The first defense is the false allegation defense. False allegations, unfortunately, occur all too often. People have leveraged this accusation to get revenge or to get advantage in a custody battle. Evidence can be used to prove that an accuser is fabricating details, including contradictory text messages, emails, or social media communications and posts. Another defense is the defense of mistaken identity. Maybe the accuser was intoxicated at the time and doesn't remember who committed the act, or they mistakenly identified the wrong suspect in a photo lineup. Another common defense is the alibi defense, which involves proving that you were not at the crime scene through evidence such as witness testimony, footage, or other proof that you were not at that location at that time. In some cases, you may have been given consent to partake in sexual conduct. This is known as the consent defense. This defense could work for someone who was in a consensual relationship while the alleged crime was committed, but this is not a possible defense for cases in which the accuser is below the age of consent or unable to consent due to intoxication. The last most common defense in sex crimes is the lack of evidence defense. Keep in mind that the responsibility to prove your guilt lies entirely on the prosecution. They must prove to a jury that you committed the crime beyond a reasonable doubt in order for the jury to find you guilty. If there's a lack of evidence, a lack of eyewitnesses, a lack of physical proof, this may be enough to create reasonable doubt in a jury's mind. If you've been accused of a sex crime, there are steps we highly recommend taking early on to protect yourself. First and foremost, do not talk to the police. Anything you can say can and will be used against you. Second, almost as important, you'll want to hire an attorney as soon as possible. Don't take this case to social media. Social media posts can be used as evidence against you. Be polite and respectful to all court officials, follow court orders, follow court conditions, show up to all court appearances, and dress well. Being accused of a sex crime is a terrible position to find yourself in. but there are many ways you can maintain your innocence. The most important step is to be proactive. Talk to a trusted legal ally about your options and listen to their advice the whole way through. If you found this video resourceful, or maybe learned something new that you didn't know before, like and subscribe for more content on Ohio criminal justice. If you want to know more about criminal law or the Fortress Law Group, check out our website at www.fortresslawohio.com. This has been Matt with the Fortress Law Group. Thanks for tuning in.